All right, what is up, everybody? Keith Jameson, Go Big Guy 231 across the DFS industry. Another day, another car video. It's about 11:17 as I'm recording this, so I am getting this out before I've seen any sort of pricing or anything. We're going to talk about the best plays on Saturday's slate, which finally includes Messi. We finally get a Messi slate. I think the matchups look really fun. Ultimately, a lot will depend on if we get some value plays, but hopefully I'll kind of spot some routes you can go. So quick reminder, like, subscribe, comment to the video. Really do appreciate all the support on these as I keep trying to grind these out for you all. So let's start off in the first game, which I think is where we might get some value. It is Saudi Arabia at Poland, or at Poland. Shoot, at Saudi Arabia. But anyhow, let's start with the Polish side. Zielinski is going to be a lock. He should be midfield only eligible, but he took a Monopoly set pieces. Poland's minus 140 here. He had a really nice role. So not only is attacking, right, he was actually playing as more like a second striker. I know I saw one line of prediction, predicting Swiderski in. Even so, he'll drop it as like a number 10. So I think he is just an awesome play. The big decision here will be when you do Lewandowski. I think Lewandowski, to me, is still just a little too goal dependent to force, especially when I know I've got like Mbappe, Griezmann, and Messi coming later. I've got three really good floor forwards, so I don't think you have to force Lewandowski. Unless like they did something crazy with the salary, but they're just not going to because he's Lewandowski. Like, he's going to command ownership. So I'd probably say Zielinski is where we're going to go, and hopefully, I'm really hopeful that the wingbacks are cheap, specifically Matty Cash. I know Zalewski, I think they have as a midfielder or forward, not as defender, but Matty Cash is a very attacking fullback. Saudi Arabia, we saw versus Argentina, specifically played on the counter, sat way back and just went on the counter. So I'm not really interested in any sort of Saudi Arabia pieces other than the goalie, which makes sense, right? If you're going to play Lewandowski, you're going to play floor plays like Cash and Zielinski. They do much better if like Poland doesn't score. They start firing crosses left and right. So that's kind of how I'm hoping that the game plays out. If Swiderski starts with Lewandowski and you want like maybe he's like in the 5 to 6K, that could be a really good GPP route to get off some ownership, because I do expect that Lewandowski to be fairly popular. I think a lot of people may decide. I think the most popular forward player is going to be Mbappe and Messi, just from the name recognition. But I wouldn't be surprised with Poland going early if Lewandowski, as long as his price is manageable, carries some ownership. Let's go to the next game, Denmark to France. France minus 134. We saw the set situation for France being as predicted, Griezmann and Mbappe splitting. I think Mbappe, just as we saw last game, carries a lot more upside. So I think Mbappe is probably going to be a lock. My first two clicks when the site comes out are going to be Mbappe and Messi, and seeing how well I can fit things. Like, that's what I'm planning to go. If I can fit Griezmann at that point, I think that would be great. We saw them play with 4 attackers last game. I thought that was a lot due to the Australia matchup. I would not be surprised if Deschamps settles back into a more pragmatic. He really has always liked that 3 is like a 3-4-1-2. So Griezmann in the hole, Mbappe and like Giroud together. Your wing backs, I'm assuming will be Theo Hernandez, who was absolutely awesome. His price was crazy too. I don't see a reason that they drop it, so I think he's going to be a fade here. But if you wanted to stack France, like putting Griezmann, Theo, Mbappe together is really nice, or dropping Grease for Giroud or something like that. I don't think France is going to find Denmark nearly as open and easy to break through as as Australia. But I still would prefer France here. So Mbappe, to me, greater than Griezmann. Griezmann would be a really good way to attack it differently. I'm assuming we didn't see a PK. I'm assuming it would still be Griezmann on PKs. But, him, Mbappe, or Giroud, any of those 3 taking, nothing would surprise me there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say on France. No, Rabiot is going to be a fade. I hope that he gets a ton of ownership because of his great game. Like, he got really goal and assist fortunate, so to speak. Like, there wasn't a lot of other peripherals, so that type of play is always going to be a fade for me. For Denmark, I don't see a way that you're going to get to Eriksen here unless they price him really cheap. They're not going to. He had a great first game. I just don't see a way they're going to do it with all the other options. But he's the only play on Denmark I would be targeting at all, other than if you wanted to go, France is going to come back to earth here. Kasper Schmeichel might be very busy, and I'll play him. But the wingback should get pinned back a little bit, and then all the other DFS goodness is Erickson, who I'm assuming is going to be too expensive. Last game, Argentina versus Mexico. Argentina have to win here. I really think that Messi's going to absolutely blow up and go nuclear. The question becomes is, do you want to do any other Argentina? Mexico, they were lucky to get a result versus Poland. They did not look impressive at all. The only two guys that looked impressive at all from like a DFS standpoint, I guess three: Gallardo, Vega, and Lozano. I guess in Chavez too. Chavez and Vega split sets. Neither one of them are going to be in play here. Lozano definitely was the most dangerous. So depending on his price, maybe he's a play. But I really don't think from like an optimal standpoint, there's really a reason to go off of Zielinski, Mbappe, and Messi to kind of build around, and then to see what cheap pieces pop up. For Argentina, everything goes through Messi. I think it's interesting to play for GPP to pair like Lautaro with him, or even Di Maria. Di Maria has always been very good for Argentina. He wasn't the first game, but maybe he bounces back. But again, I think just spreading around, because you have such good options with Poland and with France as well, that you kind of can just go Messi and move on. All right, I know this was short, but I hope that helps. Sorry that I didn't have pricing with me, but I hope I gave you a gauge of the games and the big pieces to target. I would just say, when we're doing these builds with superstars like we have here, you're not going to love the other pieces of your lineup, and that's okay. Like, when the superstars are in big spots, especially like the Galactico superstars that we're talking about, it's okay for them to soak up a lot of your salary and just kind of fool in between. Like, you can get central midfielders for cheap that could give you 3 to 5 DK, and maybe they luck into an assist or luck into a goal. Like, that's kind of how I like to attack these slates, and it's been very profitable for years. So, get those big targets. Don't all of a sudden go, Messi's too expensive, or Mbappe or Griezmann or Lewandowski or Zielinski. They're too expensive, I can't fit them. No. You have to fit them, and then just settle with everybody else, because nobody else that you're going to get is going to help you out there. All right, that'll do it. Got a phone call coming. With that, I'll say, see you.